Society Stitchers. I'm Katie,
I'm Laura,
and we are here and back for the first time in a long time filming a video.
and we're here for Katie's very favorite season with a brand new hashtag.
We are here to film for Stitch Hauntober.
Ooh, spooky.
So we decided to change things up a little bit this year. While I love Halloween, Mom loves autumn more than she loves Halloween.
Although that will not reflect in my projects.
I think you've got some autumny ones. We had to stretch one of hers a little bit. So what is Stitch Hauntober? It is a challenge to work on a bunch of Halloween and autumn themed projects. And we have 13 prompts for you to use to inspire you, help you choose your projects if you want to join in. We have each chosen one project per prompt. However, if you want to use the same project for multiple prompts, this is your challenge if you want to join in. And we just wanted this to be fun.
And we're trying to encourage you to use this more kind of like our 12 days of stitching in December. We want you to stitch on 13 or 31 projects. And it's always going to be 13 or 31. Use that for the number of projects, the number of hours, the number of stitches, maybe 1,300.
Not all together.
Stitches.
One or the other.
Yes.
If you want to do all of these things all together, that would be really interesting. Let us know how you're going to figure that out.
But make a fun choice and use that hashtag Stitch Hauntober. Katie will have it. I'm sure it's the name of this video. So here we go. Are you ready to see the projects?
Mom's more ready than I am, so I'm going to let her lead because she has all of her projects pulled out of the project bags.
So number one is stitch on a project with a haunted house. So I have this across the river, actually, and look, it's from 2009. It actually refers to two shops that we had at that point that did an event together. I was trying to think what Kathy actually calls this. This is from Rosie and me, and this is where I am. I changed out my fabric so that I'm stitching on Arctic, which was new for 2015
from Picture This Plus.
The piece came with fabric that I just decided to change out. But I love this crazy little black cat. Look at all of his spikies. He's all scared. What do you have, Katie, for a haunted house?
I have Midnight Magic by Stitchrovia. Oh, here.
This is such pretty fabric that she has.
I think it's Fabrics by Stephanie because I think I got it at Galleria a few years ago and decided to do this project on it.
Gorgeous. Okay, project number 2 is stitch on a project with a black cat.
Yes.
Okay. Mine is Jumping Cat from Dames of the Needle. I pulled flosses from my stash to do this one. And last year I made a big push and I got this far, but I love all of the oranges that I was able to use in the pumpkins. And you can see I've started outlining my cat. So I'm hoping that I will get this thing finished this year. Oh, we should have said we're doing 13 projects, so 5 projects will be giving an extra day.
Yes,
they'll each get 3 days.
I looked at the calendar and there are 5 Thursdays. Halloween is on a Thursday. So we figured if we gave an extra day to 5 projects, it will work out perfectly math-wise.
So the first 2 for me are projects that will each get an extra day.
I haven't picked one yet. I don't know. I don't have an order for what I'm stitching these in. This is just according to our challenge. So my Black Cat project is the Stitch Witch by Tiny Modernist.
So cute.
And I am doing her, I don't remember what the fabric's called. I think it's like Peddler's Blend. Mom calls this the stinky fabric because it kind of smells mapley.
It doesn't kind of smell mapley. It smells a lot mapley.
And I love it. It looks destroyed. It looks antique-y and it's just freaking beautiful. So
what Katie loves in a fabric. Our next one is Stitch on a Project with a Witch. So I'm stitching Witch from La Di Da. I have the tiniest little start. I do have a couple of the mice. I haven't been talking about any of my fabric. This one is on a 32 count linen from Be Stitch Me. It doesn't have a color name, but it's beautiful purple. And I like purple for Halloween. And I have a couple of the little mice on there just to give myself a little direction on where I am. So we'll see where I get on this one. This is one that will get 2 days.
Okay. I was going to ask, so did you choose projects for your extra day that you thought maybe you could finish?
That's the hope.
Okay.
And the ones that I think maybe will need a little extra time, I think I'll do in the first couple of weeks. So maybe I'll sneak in a couple of extra hours on them.
My next project is Wicked Stitcher Society by Silver Creek Samplers. And this is one that I feel like I'm really close and maybe I could get a finish on, but I'm not 100% sure. I've been working on this for years, but this is where I got last year. Last year I did the Wicked and Society, and one of our lovely friends, Miss Judy, we had to meet her because she made the thread beds in the Nice List box last year. And right before we met her to pick those up from her, we'd been on a chat and I told her I ran out of onyx from Gentle Art and I thought I had it and all this. She's like, I have an extra skein, I'll bring it to you. So we picked up presents for the Nice List and she brought me an extra skein of onyx so I could finish off the word society down here.
And Katie's fabric is sparkly, and
Yes.
I don't know that that's really showing, but
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it's so pretty.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just not going to sparkle for you.
It
Well,
is.
kind of in
It
the
really
corner.
is. Yeah. And we have the curtain open and the door open, obviously, so you get that. The next one I think is Stitch on a Project with a Cauldron.
Yes.
Okay. Mine is Another Year Creep Spy by Ink Circles. This was originally released in parts. I don't know if it was released in a magazine, but at least it was released in parts. And I have another small start on this on purple fabric. This is Wisteria from Color and Cotton. You can see my black floss in behind there, but I just have borders set up to get the side of this going. And I'll be hopefully my goal on this one. This is one that gets 3 days. I'm hoping that I finish this block right down here. So that's what I'll be doing.
My next one is a pattern I didn't even know that I owned. I went through all my Halloween stuff and I was so excited. This is Hallow Sampler by the Primitive Needle. And I am going to be stitching it on I think it's spectacular fabric. I think that's what Brandy called it. It is from the treat box last year, the vintage Halloween. Yeah, spectacular. And I'm going to be doing it on kind of this more plain side because I don't want the motifs to get lost, but it'll be framed by all of that orange and black coming in from the edges. So there you go.
So pretty.
So it'll be a new start for me.
The next one I believe is a skeleton, and I have Silver Creek Samplers Izzie Dekayen, which I just started with a group of friends, and I am stitching mine on 32 count purple cone flower from Color and Cotton. And there's my little start from the other night. And I have this needle minder. Is this from the very first trick box?
I don't remember if it was the
trick,
first
but
one.
Halloween. It's the one that we did 31 days.
Yes.
So this one is getting 2 days.
My skeleton piece is Bony Bunch by sorry, glare by Plum Street Samplers. I love that it has a skeleton cat.
And this is a new start for you, yes?
It is. And Fabric's not super exciting because it kind of looks like what's called for. It's spooky by Be Stitch Me.
Okay.
Next up
Yeah.
is a project with a bat.
Okay. It was so funny going through all these and figuring out what was going to fit which prompt. So this is my project we chose for a bat. It's Mystery Sampler Club, Very Scary from Lizzie Kate. And it came in 3 sections. So this is the final project or the final piece. And I have finished, I'm not quite finished with section 2, but I'm giving this one 3 days and hoping, oh, I would really like something behind it, and hoping that I can get down in there and finish this one. It would take a lot of really fast stitching, so I think that's really ambitious.
And didn't you say there's a bat in part 3?
Yes, that's where oh, yes, he's right down here. I could have used this for haunted house also.
You could have used it for fall leaves. You could have used it for acorns. That one has a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah. Crows. This one fit everything. Oh, and I have this in this bag.
My bat one is Resting Witch Face.
I love this one so much.
She's got little bats hanging in the background behind her. And I am doing it on Mystic Fabrics Aurora. Purple and green and
Cool.
blue. It's not really green, it's like teal. And it's a new start. I have a lot of new starts this time.
So my next one, I was trying to look and see if I had done all 5 of my 3-day projects, and I just managed to skip. Oh no, I have one more. Okay, so the next one is Fall Leaves. And I am doing Nevermore by Leela Studio. And the bird is sitting there on a branch with leaves, and we're calling those fall leaves. This again would have fit multiple prompts. And this one, I would have to look and see what fabric it's on, but it's a 36 count. And I just have that bottom started. It's been fun to work on. And I knew from the very beginning that it would be a long-term project. So this is 36 count feldspar from Picture This Plus.
Okay, my next one's on Picture This Plus fabric too. And it's another new start. This is my one and only non-Halloween piece, I think. It is Emily's Bliss by Summer House Stitchworks. And funny enough, Mom did a chat yesterday morning
with the magazine monthly challenge on Facebook, hosted by Carolyn and Robin.
And I was kidding this up. Mom was like, "Look, Katie's doing this. It's so pretty. I love it." And the model stitcher was in the chat. So that was just kind of fun. I've been really looking forward to this project. I ordered it last year and it didn't come in until like after fall was over. So I've been waiting to start it until this season. So
and it's beautiful.
It'll be a new start. I'm doing it on Picture This Plus sand. I think it calls for a natural linen, but I liked how this one was just a little bit warm.
Maybe I'll talk Katie into a November challenge and she'll keep it out for an extra month. I have a lot of fall projects I would like to pull out. So the next one is After Fall Leaves.
Pumpkin.
Okay. So this one is kind of fun. The one that I am working on this year is Boris by Plum Street Samplers. We're calling those pumpkins, little bitty pumpkins in the bowl. But also, this is on, Keisha always remembers what my fabric is, Katie. So
that's X-Jew. Is
it Pumpkin Patch?
No, it's something about Halloween but it's X-Jew fabric. I know that.
I can see it. There it is. It's jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
There we go. So that works, right? My fabric works this time. But also, I'm doing Olga and Boris together, and I only have the flower started on Boris, but Olga has all sorts of pumpkins already out and ready. So these two will be on jack-o'-lantern together.
My pumpkin project is the Halloween wreath by the Frosted Pumpkin. I'll insert a picture here. And then I have not made huge progress.
Okay, so Keisha and I were talking about this, filming our video this morning, and I said, "Oh, I know one that Katie hopes you pull out." And she said, "Well, I wasn't planning to, but now I will." So, oh, and what did you tell me? You both even have the same project bag.
Yes.
And just everything is the same for it. So it's the friend piece. So the next one is something with an acorn. Now, I have several projects in here that have acorns.
Yeah, which an acorn was really hard for me to find in the things that I had pulled.
And I have all sorts, so it's really funny. But this one is At First Cock's Crow by Blackbird Designs. This is in the Sisters book. It may have been released as a separate chart also. And I mean, this would have fit multiple prompts too. I had it for another prompt and then we changed it, but I have reached the top of the sampler, so I will just be filling in, having fun.
So I said that these things going across looked like acorns.
Acorns.
Like,
And
I thought that they
do.
were acorns when she was just flipping through her stuff. And then she was like, "Are you calling these acorns?" I was like, "Yeah."
I think they are. Oh, and I should have said that Boris will get 3 days. He was my last one that gets 3 days.
My next project is the Addams Family by Plum Street Samplers. And it has an acorn. I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's holding an acorn!" You can't even probably really see it. This guy on the end is holding an acorn upside down.
There you go.
And I think I'm stitching on Pumpkin Pie, I think is the name of the fabric, from Needle Bling.
And this is really more of a fall piece, don't you feel like? I mean, it does have bats, it has an owl.
But I've got the house done finally after how many years?
Oh,
and I am excited to move on to the other parts of the project.
I feel like the ladies have Bride of Frankenstein hair.
They do kind of.
Okay, the next prompt that we have is stitch on a project with an owl. And I, this month, for the end of September, I started Orange Tree Sampler with Keisha for Sampler September. And there is an owl up there in the tree. I feel like that cat looks like he's wearing a skeleton suit. Not really, but you know, that's what it feels like. And I'm stitching this on 32 count. I just pulled it off of here. I think I want to say it's something like Squash Blossom. I can't find my tag. There it is. Nope. I won't find it. I'll post it though, from Coloring Cotton. And I just have the line because I just started it. So I will make some fun progress on this for the 2 days I get to work on it.
My next project we're on pumpkin? No. What are we on?
Owl.
Okay, sorry. I'm not even stitching on the part with an owl, but I'm counting it. This is the Spooked Mystery Sampler from Lizzie Kate. I'm still on part 1. This is part 3, but it has all 3 parts there. And in part 3, there is an owl in the tree.
Way up at the top.
Yes. So this is where I'm at on part 1.
So good.
Maybe I'll finish part 1 this year. So what's your next one?
Okay. That's funny. We have very different goals with our Lizzie Kates this year.
With orange and black. Mom, would you like to tell us a tale?
I'm going to tell you a tale. So I wanted to use this for leaves, but Katie said no. This is called Shades of Autumn, and it is in the Just Cross Stitch magazine from September of 2017. And it's one we found in a little shop up in Nebraska a couple of years ago.
I thought this was from the needlepoint shop.
No.
Okay.
No, this is from the honey.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The
And it's really on the front too. I could have just shown you there, but I didn't have the name of it. And it will be a new start. I will be stitching on 32 count limited Valhalla Bee Farm.
Yes.
It's on a 32 count limited edition from Color and Cotton. And this is orange and black. And I am using these flosses, one of which is called Black Walnut. So black walnut and all the oranges to do this one. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I'm giggling because a cat has found something
to play with.
And I don't know if the video is going to cut that sound out or not, but it is clanky. Okay. My orange and black, it's a little bit of it's not a stretch. There's just not tons. Oh, I guess there's more orange than I thought. It is The Witch's Brew by With Thy Needle and Thread. And I actually am starting this one because our friend Cece's birthday is this upcoming Friday. And they have said that you need to stitch on a project with coffee is one of the things.
Coffee or anything Gilmore Girls or pink or the autumnal orange, which is like the muted orange. And I was thinking there was one thing, or you could knit.
Oh yeah, stitch or knit. So I am doing Witch's Brew coffee. And there's a little pumpkin down there, and the witch is wearing black, so it fits. And I am doing it on glorious fabric that I didn't keep the. Oh, it has a tag. It is Ghoulish from Be Stitch Me.
Look at that.
I'm going to kind of place it so that the the purple mug ends up in this orange patch down here. And yeah, so we'll see what it looks like. I think it's gonna be cool. Fingers crossed. I like to kind of be daring with my Halloween projects and the fabric choices.
And I was trying to look and see if the one is on the wall that you finished with the Plum Street.
It's down because we took it to an event and we haven't pulled it back out.
Okay, so the next one is Stitch on a Project with a Crow. And I have Quaker Crow from the Work Basket. I love this thing. And mine is on, I think it's 32 count fabric. It was dyed by Susan at oh my gosh, Keepsakes. Look at this fabric. I think I have decided that when this is done, I'm just going to get some help and turn this into a project bag because I want every bit of that beautiful fabric to show. And it's just stitched with a black floss. I'm using, I was trying to decide if I'm using Cosmo for this. No, I'm using Sullivan's black floss, which is really extra floofy.
I am wondering if I made a mistake on my next project.
Because it's the crow?
No. Okay, no, I'm fine. My next project is Jack's Bash by Plum Street Samplers. And it goes this way. And it does have a blackbird that I'm calling a crow in this cage here. And I thought for a second that I'd messed up because I haven't pulled this out in years, and I got an itch this year to work on it. And it turns out a couple of friends of ours were starting it at camp this year. So at camp I worked on it. It was like my one thing that I worked on while I was at the table for 5 minutes. But I started putting in the border around it, and I thought, oh no, was I not supposed to put a bottom line on it because there's a giant hill thing at the bottom? But no, it is there. So I have not made my border match up yet, but that's probably what I'll continue to work on. I like that. I like to do that with Plum Street. She puts a straight line around a lot of her pieces, and I just like having an idea of how big a piece is before I really delve into it.
Before you commit?
Yes.
Okay, so I was going to pull this out and figure out what count I'm stitching on. because I think I'll be able to. Maybe not. Okay, so our last prompt is stitch on a project with the number 31. And I am using Ichabod Seabury from the Primitive Needle.
Hey, we both have primitive needle projects.
Yes. And this one, she called for 40 count swamp from Picture This Plus, and I'm pretty sure that's what I have. And this is what it looks like right now.
Do you think you have 40 count?
I either have 36 or 40 count, but it's pretty tiny. So there it is. I am this far. I still have another color to go around the outside up there, but this is one of those things that I stitch the words and then I go back and fill in the black block around them. And I have I have just one more full line to go. This was supposed to be with the number 31, Katie. I switched up my projects because this one has October 30th. So I'll have to figure out what I think I was doing with this. I'm doing this one with a moon. That's what I'm doing. I don't care. That's what I'm doing this one with. He died on the 30th, and they must have buried him on the 31st. There you go. There is a 3 and a 1 in there. That's so funny because we even went through all of my projects. I have the 31st on a couple of other projects.
But did you have it on the Blackbird piece?
Yes, for sure. And another one as well.
You just don't have acorns on that one. We'll have to like rearrange all of them. Anyway.
That's so funny.
What's really funny is that Mom remembered where I had 31 on one of the projects that I had pulled. And that is Ghastly Greetings by Satsuma Street. And 31 is way down there. It has both 13.
It's a whole band.
It has 13 and 31 on it. And this is another project that I've been working on for years.
Oh, so you already have your 13s.
Yes. So that's where I am. This is just on plain black even weave.
Are those eyeballs that you have? So fun. I love when you pull this one out.
So I really like it. It's just a bit of a challenge. And I always kind of put this one off until I know I'm going to have really good lighting. So I actually used to wait to pull this one out until we had a stitch night, because typically I would have pretty good lighting during a stitch night. So yeah, that's it for me.
That's it for both of us. So now that we've shown you all of the prompts, we're going to show you what we're starting with. So that'll be a 3-day stitch event. We'll stitch the first, second, and third on our projects. Mine is going to be Jumping Cat, and I actually have some little star buttons that I'm using for the stars in the background. So all I have to do is stitch that cat, and this will be done. I'm hoping. And we have Stitch Night Thursday night.
Yes.
So,
and I will be pulling out the Wicked Stitcher Society. That's what I've been working on kind of, and I'm just in that mood. So, we'll see. Maybe I'll get it finished with a whole 3 days to work on it.
That'll be fun.
And then our first check-in, so since it's still September, our first check-in in October then will be on Friday, which is the 4th, when we switch projects.
And we'll show you what we are starting with. My secondary challenge is that I am finishing a huge project, so it gets stitches first every day. Maybe not Thursday, but it gets stitches first every other day. So that'll be an extra challenge for me throughout the month.
I have an extra project pulled too, but I don't know if I'll work on it during the month. I think that it's going to be my, if I happen to finish a project, I don't think that's really going to happen. But if I happen to finish a project, then I can pull it out to work on during that time. I think that is it. So we will see you back here on Friday and we'll show you our progress and all the fun things. Talk to you then. Bye.